Is it going to take to get rid of these blue line thugs? What am I talking about? I'm glad you asked. Glendale police kills man at park while attempting to locate domestic violence suspect. Police say the man shot by officers were not the man they were searching for. Who was surprised about that? Nobody. Now this is the one they shot, but the one that they were looking for, in another article that I read, said that this guy matched the description of the other guy, but they won't show a picture of the other guy. I've looked for a photo. I've Googled. I've tried to put in every type of Google search that would bring up the other guy that they shot, and it won't bring up anything. They'll only tell you that he was shot. This guy was shot, and anyway, here's where we're at. Glendale, Arizona. The Glendale police shot and killed a man at a park while attempting to locate a domestic violence suspect on Wednesday. Police say officers were called to the area of 47th and Glendale Avenues just after 7 p.m. after a woman reported that her ex-boyfriend threatened her with a gun. Okay. When police arrived, the ex-boyfriend had already left the scene. Officers found a vehicle that matched the suspect description near a park at 47th and Diane Avenues, just north of Northern Avenue. According to Peoria Police, Glendale officers approached the truck and could not see if anyone was inside due to the vehicle's tint. Okay, you can't look in the front window because there's usually a AS1 line that the tent's not supposed to come past. You couldn't get close to it and shine your flashlight in there. Maybe put your hands around your eyes and kind of look in there and see. Well, at this point, apparently not. But in a minute, they can. Officers noticed a man sitting at a nearby gazebo at the park and believed that was the individual they were searching for. Officers told the man to raise his hands. Peoria police said the man had made a movement toward his waistband. Oh no. Officer safety, so they're going to shoot everybody. And that is when the officer involved shooting occurred. Of course it is, because you can't raise your hand to ask a question. You can't, he probably went to stand up, and when he went to stand up, his hands dropped to his, you know how when you stand up, you got to stand up and your hands automatically go down. Well, these pussy ass cops, every time you turn around, they shooting you for officer safety. Well, your hands went here. It went near the waistband. Thought he was going in the pocket. He had a phone, but I thought he had a gun. They need to stop thinking so damn much and start paying attention. Not to mention the fact that OC spray, when they have so much shit on their fucking back belt they don't use now, but every time you turn around, they want something else that they're never going to use. Why don't they use OC spray anymore? Officers noticed a man sitting at a nearby gazebo at the park and believed that was the individual they were looking for. I already read that. Made a movement toward his waistband. Okay. The man, identified by police as 46-year-old Dillon Siebeck from Tucson, died from his injuries at the scene. Officials say no firearm was located near him at the scene. Near him? So are they saying there was one located but not near him? Or there wasn't one located and they're just throwing that out there for now to see how they can spin this shit? I'm guessing there was not a firearm found and they're just saying that to figure out how they can spin it. A relative told ABC 15 that Siebeck, I guess that's how you pronounce it, was an Army veteran and a dad. Court records showed he had struggled with serious mental health issues and substance abuse. He had been released from an Arizona prison 9 days before the shooting. He was trying to get his life together, said Kelly Siebeck, Dillon's sister-in-law. He was being a good person, minding his own business. After the shooting, Peoria police say officers approached the ex-boyfriend's truck and found the man in the driver's seat with an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. The man was taken to a hospital where he later died of his injuries. Wait, because a minute ago you said you couldn't see if anybody was in the truck. So, officer, while you're on the stand, were you lying then or are you lying now? Because I don't understand. You said you couldn't see in the truck, but now there was a man in the driver's seat. They could see a man in the driver's seat. The ex-boyfriend has only been identified as a 23-year-old from Glendale. Now you can type in 23-year-old from Glendale, also involved shooting. This guy's name, Dillon Siebeck, shot, who 23-year-old, you can't find a picture of this guy to save your life, but they'll tell you that they mistook this one for that one because he matched the description. I'm almost betting when we see this guy, and eventually we will, he will not. Officials say there is no known connection between Siebeck and the ex-boyfriend. Peoria Police Department is investigating this incident as part of a West Valley Incident Response Team. No officers were involved. Well, thank God. The thin blue line is still all intact. Couldn't be more proud, more happy. Bunch of thugs. But let's see if we can find a video and see if that clears anything up. Hold up. Bam.
That's right, and the actions of those officers here at Glendale PD are now in question. They claim to have mistaken someone who was homeless for another man who was being accused of threatening his ex-girlfriend with a gun. Both those men are now dead, one killed by police. Candles left by family and friends serve as a reminder of what happened here at Horizon Park Wednesday night.
And I'm not sure what's up with the volume on their end, but
2 investigations are underway.
One is to determine whether using the state laws, the statutes in the state of Arizona, the shooting was justified, a justifiable shooting according to statute. That's just the criminal side. Then the department itself, in this case, Glendale Police Department, are going to do a internal affairs investigation of the officer or officers involved.
Ron Martinelli is walking us through what happens next.
also, I just want to let people know that haven't watched any of my videos that Arizona, particularly Phoenix, is a complete shit show. I have several videos up on just how corrupt they are. I got a couple more in the editing phase, but it's just ridiculous the amount of shit that taxpayers are paying for, and they don't, with the exception of a few, they don't seem to have a problem with the way these blue line thugs are just treating everyone that's not part of their brotherhood. It's ridiculous.
He's a former police officer and forensic criminologist who consults on cases nationwide, hired by both police departments and families of victims in deadly force cases. Peoria police say a 46-year-old homeless man was shot and killed by Glendale officers who confused him with a 23-year-old man who was accused of threatening his girlfriend with a gun.
Keep in mind what the environment was at the time. And we don't know other than it was dark. Did they light him up with flashlights?
Well, it was dark. They got... My husband used to have a Mac light. It was so damn big it took 4 D-cell batteries. They have cars with headlights. They have alley lights, takedown lights, whatever you want to call them, on the side that they can point right at whatever they're looking at. One excuse after another. Government will cover for government. They'll investigate yourself. They'll say, we're going to send it to an outside source. We're going to send it here. We're going to send it. They'll send it to the sheriff's department, the sheriff's office, whatever they call it there. It doesn't matter where they send it. It's still going to be a government body of themselves that's going to find, well, they follow departmental policies and they did. It's total bullshit.
Very important.
The 23-year-old was later found in his pickup truck feet away from the scene. Officers said they hadn't seen his body because of tinted windows.
No matter what side.
Because of tinted windows, they didn't initially see him, but then when they shot and killed the other guy, they decided to go, and they could see him then. So make that make sense.
You're on, it has to be a scientific analysis. We can't speculate on anything.
Martinelli believes body-worn camera will be crucial to this case, but says...
Do you think we're going to see body-worn camera? They'll say, nope, it's an ongoing investigation. It isn't. They have that's the same shit, different day. That's the same excuse they give. It's an ongoing investigation. We can't release this. We can't release that. Or... body cam footage is paid for by the taxpayers, but until they can get in there and edit and mute and delete, you're not going to see it.
Even that can lead to more questions.
The depth perception of the body-worn camera, which is a fisheye lens and not a human eye lens, are completely different, and that's why we use the science of photogrammetry, so we get exacting measurements. And
So wait, is what he's trying to say is a body cam is recording? Don't believe what you see on a body cam because it's only from a fisheye lens, not an actual eye. Because there's all kinds of different lenses that you can put on cameras. Fisheye lens. I got a fisheye lens for my iPhone, and it'll take a picture of exactly what I'm looking at. Is he trying to say it distorts it? I don't understand what his point is. Is he going to say when the body cam footage comes out that don't believe what you're seeing because it was from a fisheye lens? I don't know.
and time-distance relationships.
Martinelli tells us investigators will look at the Arizona statute of deadly force, department policies, and probable cause.
Besides identifying themselves, what instructions, directions, orders, or commands did they give to the individual?
Well, we don't know because we can't see the body cam footage. Why don't y'all release all that shit and we'll make up our own mind?
Arizona's family has requested the officer's body-worn camera video. It could take weeks up to a year to get that, and of course we'll keep you updated, but all of that really depends on the agency.
It does. Because this is Arizona, something bigger will come up. Trust and believe. This will fall from the headlines. It'll be long forgotten. They'll look it over. At some point, they might release clips of it for everybody to see, and they'll be on to the next one. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and I am out.
Reporting live here in Glendale, Alexis Dominguez for Arizona's.
Relatives who live in Wyoming tell ABC 15 that they were officially notified about Dillon Siebeck's death just this afternoon. That is 2 days after Glendale police shot him and after several hours of calls back and forth to Arizona trying to get answers. According to his family and court records, the 46-year-old is from Tucson. He's an Army veteran and a father. Dillon had PTSD and bipolar disorder, and he had been diagnosed as seriously mentally ill. He had struggled with drugs. In fact, Dillon had just been released from prison 9 days before police found him in this park sitting in a gazebo off.
Sitting in a gazebo. Still not sure what time of night it was, what time of the day it was when they were there, but I mean, it's not like it's a teeny tiny area, and typically when they're going from point A to point B, they have, I don't know, their flashlights on, so at least they can see where they're walking. I'm just saying.
Officers mistook him for a suspect in a nearby crime. The suspect, though, was half his age, and officers say when they approached Dillon, he failed to comply and to their commands and reached towards his waistband, and that's when he was shot.
Reach toward his waistband, ooh, because you know the Blue Line thugs don't want you even making a move, but 3 or 4 of them will give you a bunch of different commands and expect that you can listen to all of them at the same time, and the second you don't, fuck it, they'll just shoot you.
Dillon was on community supervision after being released from prison, and his sister-in-law told me that he had texted her over the weekend. She told me, quote, he was trying to get his life back together. He was being a good person, minding his own business, when police came up and shot him. Now, the family has so many questions about why his life ended this way.